Oh, where's my... Okay, so let's look at... So we're actually going to look at your screen. All right, so what we're going to do is set up a new sheet. And, you know, if we come here to application icon, you want to do the pull down and then fly out here. We have the options to make a new title block. Now, we don't want to use any standard title block that Revit gives us because they're typically have, like, you know, a title block on the sheet. So title block is maybe the wrong, it should be called maybe sheets or paper space if they want to follow Autodesk. So we're going to make so we can make a new sheet size. We can also pick an 11 by 17. I want to show you new sheet size so we can make our own custom sheet size. So again, we go to the application. This is called the application icon. I'll refer to that as the application icon. New. We want to go to the fly. We're not clicking on anything. We're just hovering, and we want to go to title blocks. And we want to make new size and hit open. So this will be a new size. You can see by default it's 8.5 by 11. You will never see the, when we bring the sheet in, you will not see those dimensions. Those are parameters that allow us to change the sheet size. And that sheet size can be determined, I don't know if there's a limit, but there's a limit on what you can output, right? So what I do is come here and just click on one of these lines, and then this dimension gets activated. I click on it. So we're going to go, we're always going to go typically landscape. So I'll type in 17 for 17 inches, click on the top line, type in 11, enter. So now this is an 11 by 17 sheet. There's no, you know, titles. Now we could add a title like, you know, your name, the course number, sort of exercise 1. We can also do that right in the file. So it doesn't have to be in the sheet. If you want to have that as a consistent thing in a sheet, you can. Like, so it's something you don't want to recreate. So whatever we put on this sheet is sort of like embedded, right? So if we take that into any other project, it's always going to show up. So we produce these things, and so we're going to go ahead and save. So we're going to do application icon, save as family. And then you want to put this somewhere that you know you can get to. So you click on, sorry. Oh yeah, that's your computer. I'm like, why don't I see my chip? So this is yours, right? Okay, so I'm going to save this in here right now. So I'll call this 11 by 17. And I'll call it sheet, and then just hit save. Now typically you can load this right into the project. Like with certain families it's not an issue. We can just say load into project, and it'll load it into a project. For some reason, unless 2014 fixed it, it doesn't work. So it won't show up. I don't know why. So anyways, you want to make a new project. So we're going to make our new project, or in this case, sorry, I'm going to load. You have your project open. So let's try it. Let's see if they fixed it. So yours is, so that's your case study. We're going to hit OK. Let's see if it loaded it. Normally it does work. On the older version of AutoCAD or Revit, it didn't. Let's see. Yeah, it works now. Huh. Go figure. Okay, in the older version, I think 2013, that was one glitch it had. So you had to load it manually. So now we can just click that load in the project. It will load that family into the project, right? So I then come here to Sheets, right-click, and say New Sheet. Okay. So again, it's assuming you're gonna be making sheets. Output New Sheets, and then we're going to select 11 by 17 as your main title block. 11 by 17 sheet, that's what we just made and loaded, and hit OK, and there it is. Okay? So if we had any graphic information on there, your name and so forth, it would appear. Does that make sense so far?
So you saved it as a family?
I had saved it as a family from the sheet. So if I go back to my sheets, here I did a application icon, save as family. And then I loaded it into the project. Let me get back to here. So once we're here now, oh, sorry. So there we are. Now what we can do is I can go to my schedules and quantities, and I can come and grab my mass floor schedule and dump it on here. So now I have this information on a sheet. I then can come to, let's say, my first floor plan. And I just want to have one floor plan for now, just representing the project. I assume that's can be the case. I drag and drop and click, and it drops that in there, and I can move this around. Now, maybe that's not a good one. So if we're not happy with that, we can select and hit the delete button. Let me see the ground floor. Drop it in. And click. Just a little lagged. Okay, so you can see a couple things are happening here. It's not quite fitting, right? So we can move it down and make it fit. Now I did get lucky, and the plan is actually fitting within here. And I can say, hey, that looks actually okay. Looks like it's going to work. If your plan does not fit, if you click on the viewport, the view scale here is where we change it. So right now it's at 1/8 inch and it's fitting. So for some reason, if it doesn't fit at 1/8 inch, you can switch it to 16. So all your scaling is actually done at the viewport level. Now if we go to ground floor, it's actually done here as well, down here at the bottom left. So each plan, each view has a specific scale. Although you're drawing 1-to-1, it has a predetermined scale, which means each view can only be put on a sheet once. So if you want to put one plan on 2 sheets, you have to duplicate the view. So we can right click and say duplicate the view, and it'll duplicate it. So we'll have 2 of the same. This is one thing with Revit. It's doing that because I think if you change the scale, like oh, I'm going to dump this on the other sheet, you're like, well, if I'm dumping it on the other sheet, it's probably going to be a different scale, right? We might be zooming into a part of the plan. Then you're altering the scale on the other sheet. So if you try to dump the same plan on 2 sheets, it's going to tell you it's already in use. Okay, does that make sense? Just a heads up. It doesn't really affect what we're doing right now, but it will later in life. So if we come here, you see it does like the standard, architecture. I don't know, does AIA come up with these standards? I think so. A101.
Yeah, no, yeah.
It's a title shouldn't it be G0?
I just go with it when I do it.
General.
So you can rename this stuff. So again, this is really geared towards working with architectural drawings. So that's why. Sorry. Go ahead. What about, yeah?
Oh no, the name of it.
Yeah. So you can rename these later. You can call them whatever you want. It's interesting because this.
You have to with the elevation. Because it's just going to keep tagging them.
It's just going to do A101, A102. It's just going to keep on going, unnamed, whatever. So you can rename it. You don't have to right now. So after we do this, we want to output this, okay? So we want to go to application icon, and we want to go to print, and print. And we have room 815. That's where we are right here. Then we're going to go to, so this, each printer has its own craziness. So let's just see how this one is. Like, I don't memorize this stuff. I'm just a problem solver. So I clicked on paper quality. That sounds good. So I want to go to 11 by 17. Okay. Hit OK. And then down here we have current view. All right. I don't want to do current view. I actually want to do selected views and sheets. And then we want to really select this sheet. Okay. So select. So I don't even want to see views. I just want to see the sheet. So we're actually picking the exact sheet. Okay, then we hit OK. And then do you want to save this session? No. It's like nothing important. Now typically if I hit OK, it knows what size it is. I have this set up to 11 by 17. It should do a good job. So let's pause this real quick. Or resume. So what we can do is go to annotation and go to text. And then we can pick a size. Default, it's 1/4 inch. It's fine. We can come here and click and type your name. Okay? And then when you print, your name will be on there. Nothing fancy. Now, for some reason, if you pick this and you don't like 1/4 inch, you can edit it. So this is a specific family. Like I don't like big fonts on stuff. Although when you see the Helsinki board, you'll say, oh, there's some big fonts on there. I typically don't do big fonts. So you can pick this. These are the two families that are loaded, 1/4 inch and 3/32 Arial. If I go to edit type, I can duplicate this and call it 1/8 inch. Hit OK. And then I want to come here and rescale this. Text size 1/8 inch. Hit OK. And now it's at 1/8 and it's labeled correct. So there's a new family that I created in here, right? So we just made a real quick family out of the old family. Okay? And then we can position it and so forth. Okay, does that make sense? So Thursday when you come in, you have to have that laid out, okay, and turned in. Okay? Make sense? Good, good. So what are we doing next? All right, let me stop this.